Hi guys, this video is brought to you today by my friend Shin, aka Weird8 Productions. Visit his channel with the link in the description to see his short films and his movie and cartoon compilations. We're all excited for Metroid Prime 4 and Super Smash Bros., and that's great, but there's a few games that you probably forgot about. Hey guys, Bloodman Bobby here, and with both E3 and WWDC coming up, I decided to kind of do a couple videos over the next few days. Is kind of covering the lead up to both E3 and WWDC. Now, I don't really want to do rumor videos because I kind of want to record on things that have some legitimacy. If there's some weight behind a rumor to the point where it sounds like there's a huge possibility that it could be in the final product, especially if there's a lot of buzz behind it, I'll definitely check it out. But for now, I kind of wanted to cover the games that this video cover the games that are coming to Nintendo Switch that I'm pretty sure are going to be announced or at very least shown off at E3. The three games I'm going to be talking about in this particular video are actually ones you probably forgot about and you really shouldn't have. I mean, I know right now the current buzz is all about Smash Brothers, and even though I'm a very casual Smash Brothers fan. Like, I'm one of those people who has the strategy of I just mash buttons and hopefully I win. I kind of wanted to cover the three Switch games that you probably forgot were coming. Or actually, the kind of wanted to backtrack. Not like three Nintendo games because I'm going to be covering a Switch first-party game, a Switch third-party game, and a 3DS game. And all three of which I really hope are going to be shown at E3. I know Dreamcast guy put up a leak he found on Reddit that showed like Nintendo's schedule, their E3 schedule, and funny enough, one of the games is on there, but two of the other ones are not, which is kind of interesting. But I wanted to basically cover the ones that we know for sure are coming to Nintendo systems. They were previously announced in the past, and I hope they make an appearance at E3. So let's go with the first one. The Switch first party game I wanted to show is Yoshi, which we currently don't know the official title. If you look at the leak on Dreamcast Guy's Twitter, it says, hold on a second here, at least according to the leak, that the game is going to be called Yoshi's Flipping Island, which, wow, is that the first time a Nintendo game took on a playful version of the F word? I don't really know, and I don't really want to answer that kind of question. But yeah, I definitely think it's weird. After Yoshi was announced last year at E3, it kind of just disappeared. Like, we didn't hear too much about it, and so leading up to E3, it's really probably the big mystery next to maybe Metroid Prime 4 and Smash Bros. I'm not going to talk about Metroid Prime 4 in this video either, only because, again, that's kind of the end of a game we're all expecting, and there's a lot of buzz around it. And I'm excited for it myself, but I wanted to focus, like I said, on the ones you probably forgot about. So I'm definitely a really big fan of, or I should say, I've actually just become a big fan of the Yoshi games in general. Like, it's funny, I think I briefly played Yoshi's Island. I know I did very recently, but when I was a kid and my cousins had it on GBA, I think I remember playing it, but I just kept getting hit, and Baby Mario make that obnoxious wee, wee, crying, and it's just... But Yoshi games on their own, they're definitely a lot of fun. I like the idea that it's definitely more of a casual platforming game compared to something like the Super Mario 3D action series, like Super Mario Odyssey. But within it, it's definitely a lot of fun. I like the mechanics, like the ground pound, the fact that you're throwing eggs. And in this Switch game, it kind of incorporates elements we've been seeing from more recent games, most notably Yoshi's Woolly world, which, kind of like this Switch game, it's, kind of based around arts and crafts, although in this game it's more about like everything's made of paper and so forth. So I really like, it keeps the mechanics of you're going around ground pounding, jumping on enemies, but you can also suck enemies and they turn into eggs and you throw them at them to defeat other enemies. I always thought that was a really creative mechanic in the Yoshi games. And the funny thing about Yoshi on Switch is that it kind of looks like it was designed to be a 3DS game, because there were a lot of times where there's objects in the foreground and the background and you're going back and forth. Um, so I don't really want to speculate. Was this originally a 3DS game, but then the Switch came out and they have to jump ship? I mean, I don't really want to speculate about that because it's still a really neat mechanic. And also, let's not forget, in this game you could actually flip the stage. Like in the trailer, they showed Yoshi did a ground pound, and it flipped the stage so you can see objects that you couldn't see from that initial perspective. So you could see, find like coins and other objects hidden behind things like rocks and other sort of platforms. So basically, Yoshi for Switch. Will it be called Yoshi's Flipping World? It probably will, because Nintendo tends to be, or at least at times can be, very punny with its titles. I'm kind of surprised the year. Are we gonna get a lot of jokes? People calling it Yoshi's Fucking World? I don't know. I don't want to make that kind of association with Yoshi. So. But anyway, I'm definitely excited. I think for me, I'm more excited for this or I shouldn't say, because I'm also very excited for Smash Bros. But I think what gets me really pumped for this game is, because the Yoshi series, doesn't have that kind of luster that the much more popular Nintendo franchises have. I still, have a lot of fun with this lesser known game, or the games in this series, and what was I saying? And I'm definitely looking forward to it. I guess I'm just kind of surprised that it just got put in the back seat. He through all this, but yeah, I'm definitely excited. Yoshi for Switch. And the next game on the list is one that I've been talking about quite a bit, and that is Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus. And I am so glad that this game has finally got a release date, a solid release date of June 29th. So it'll be coming out pretty much right after E3, or at least right around the corner of following E3. And I've been watching gameplay footage of Wolfenstein 2 on like IGN, among other places, and it definitely looks a lot of fun. And and keep in mind, I'm not a person who I didn't play Wolfenstein: The New Order, but it's interesting because I'm coming out of playing Doom for Switch, which, oh my god, I mean, it's a lot of fun, but Jesus Christ, midway through the campaign, it gets really hard and it really just aggravates the shit out of me. Maybe I really should do some kind of like a Twitch Let's Play of that, just to take a lot of the anger out of me if I get to play it with you, for you guys. But yeah, it's definitely, because it's just weird. It just really reminds me of Doom, because like Doom, it's a first-person shooter. You get a bunch of different guns. You're going around, and even the attacks are very similar in terms of of course you're obviously going around shooting Nazis, but you can also do like stealth attacks. Like I just watched a little bit of the 12 minutes of gameplay footage of Wolfenstein on the Switch on IGN's YouTube channel, and you see going around, you're like chopping soldiers with an axe behind their backs and so forth. At least, like, subjectively speaking, and unlike the Metal Gear games, the stealth, it's not like super necessary throughout the game. It's this kind of a tactic, but it's still really fun when you don't want to get into a really hasty situation. So, I mean, in terms of graphics, I know there's a lot of concern because Switch doesn't have as much horsepower as something like even the base Xbox One, the PS4. But given Doom for the Switch plays relatively well, I have a lot of faith that when the final version comes out, Panic Button, which is porting Wolfenstein 2 to the Switch will get this under control. When I was watching the 12 minutes of gameplay on IGN, it did get a little laggy, especially with like moving around and when you were firing a lot of bullets, but it wasn't unplayably laggy. It was just kind of a little stuttery. Kind of reminds me of when Doom 2016 first came out on the Switch. And it got a little laggy at points. I will admit, when things got really hectic, it kind of slowed down to slideshow for like a split second, but overall was very fun and playable. So I am hoping Panic Button is able to get that down, or at least when Wolfenstein 2 comes out for Switch. Now that they ironed out Doom 2016 and it's much more smooth than it was when it first came out, when Wolfenstein 2 for Switch comes out, it'll play a lot better. And even though, yes, it's a newer game, I do have full faith that Panic Button will optimize Wolfenstein 2 so it plays at least relatively well on Switch. I'm not one of those guys that, looks out for games. Didn't play at 1080p or higher. Must play at 60 frames per second. If they can get it at 720p, 30 frames per second, and it plays just fine, then I'll be certainly down for it. And the 3DS game on this list, the solo 3DS game on this list, which I really wished was coming to Switch, but I still play my 3DS every now and then when, I just have one of those days. But I'm definitely excited for this game in particular to not just be coming to 3DS, but it's finally coming back after so long of being in the shadows, and that is WarioWare Gold. Again, kind of like Yoshi, I don't have too much to go off of. I would say even less than I did with Yoshi. The most we've seen of this game, and I totally forgive you, forgot it. I honestly forgot about it until today. When I was researching this video, I wanted to check if there was a Wario game coming to 3DS, and I definitely remembered there was something about it. But then when I looked it up, it actually turns out it's coming out in August. And it was shown off very briefly in a past Nintendo Direct. And I gotta tell you, WarioWare, oh my god, I honestly have so much fun with it. And it's one of the few Nintendo franchises where I've even gotten, family members to get into it. And, my parents are very, very casual, as you can imagine, when it comes to video games. They don't play it, but, my dad enjoys reading the manga based on Zelda. My mom is obsessed with collecting Pikmin plushies. It's the only Nintendo franchise next to Pokemon and Mario that she at least likes the design of the characters. But WarioWare is the one where I've even gotten family to play it. I could at least remember my aunt from Chicago with my cousins Michael and Anna watched this video. They came visiting from Chicago, and me and my dad were telling them, hey, we got the Wii, and they heard so much about it because there was so much word that, it's the motion control game where you could take a controller and if you want to swing a tennis racket, you just swing the controller. And we showed the Mario Smooth Moves. I remember my aunt, was playing that. Remember that one game in Smooth Moves where you have to hold a broom by the top of it, and it's a crazy balancing act. And I remember she sucked, but she had a lot of fun with that. And obviously WarioWare on 3DS, given that it's a portable console, it's not going to be that kind of experience for me. I'm just glad that it's coming back to it's that a new game is coming. It's interesting to note that it plays a lot more like a Nintendo DS than 3DS game in terms of all the actions on the touchscreen. I kind of feel that it kind of plays into how with the the new Nintendo 3DS games, they're getting out of the 3D and now they're just taking advantage of what the horsepower the 3DS is and making games out of that. But it still looks like a ton of fun. Like I saw in the Nintendo Direct, you're doing things, some of them are very similar to WarioWare Smooth Moves, like the picking the nose, only this time it's touchscreen. And there's even one of those games with the puppet where you're supposed to shake off all these watermelons that are coming at you, and the way you do that is you take your 3DSs and you're trying to shake off the watermelons. So I'm definitely really looking forward to that. I kind of wish it was coming to Switch, only because I'm playing Switch a lot more now, and it would take advantage of the Switch's larger screen. And I would say horsepower, but WarioWare isn't the kind of game you play because of really graphics. You play for the thrill of it, and you have to play these really creative games in a very short amount of time. You know, you're looking at maybe 10 or even 5 seconds per game. So, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to Warrior World Gold on the Switch. Just don't put a drop it game, because you want me to drop my 3DS and it smashes into a million pieces, Nintendo. So that's about it. These are the 3 games I'm excited for Nintendo to show off, hopefully at E3, that you probably forgot about. So I'm glad I was able to refresh your memory, and I hope you guys are looking forward to these games just as much as I am. So, alright guys, this has been Blood Moon Bobby on the road to E3 and WWDC. I don't know if I'll be attending them. I don't think I'll be able to make it out to WWDC. I am applying to some PR firms right now, and maybe I'll be able to at least go to E3, but I'm not too sure about that. So, but if anything changes, I'll be sure to let you know. So, thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you later. And if you have any ideas for videos, please feel free to email me. My email address is down in the description. So, again, thanks guys for watching. I'll see you later. Hey guys, this has been a Blood Moon Bobby video. Please like this video or dislike it, and please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.